Today is National Fentanyl Awareness Day, and we now continue our morning-long discussion on the ongoing crisis here in the Valley.
Right now, we have Fresno County Assistant Sheriff John Zanoni and Homeland Security Special Agent in charge of the Central Valley, Michael Ciapas, joining us this morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank you both for being here.
Good morning.
Assistant Sheriff, let me start with you. How is the county dealing with this situation, with fentanyl?
Well, first off, we have a narcotics task force that deals a lot with illegal drugs up and down the valley, dealing with interdiction out on I-5 and some of the major freeways. And we have a detective now assigned to the FORT team, which is commonly known as the Fentanyl Overdose Response Team. So we're out there, we're proactive, we're confiscating pills all the time. We're getting more and more requests to go out and contact people who have fentanyl and other illegal narcotics. It's not just fentanyl, we're still seeing methamphetamine. And what we're seeing a lot of is fentanyl in pill form, and people that have it, some of them don't even know that it's fentanyl. They're thinking it's Xanax or some other drug, and it truly does have fentanyl in it, and we know how deadly fentanyl is. So just a very, very small amount can kill you or can make you really sick.
You said that you had some numbers from the coroner's office of how many people have died within the last 6 months or so because of this.
So looking at stats from the Fresno County Coroner's Office over the last 2 years, we had 7 fentanyl deaths in 2019. In 2020, that number increased to 17. The latest review of statistics from 2021 for single overdose with fentanyl only is at 36. When you combine fentanyl with other drugs, the overdose number of deaths goes to 60. Now compare that in 2020, we had 254 drug overdoses in Fresno County. We had 193 people die from auto accidents. So drug overdoses have now outpaced auto accidents.
Wow. Is this a problem in a particular part of the county and or the city, or is it widespread?
It is an absolutely widespread problem. We're seeing people transporting these Xanax or so-called fentanyl pills and other forms of fentanyl up and down I-5 between Northern and Southern California, and we're seeing fentanyl and fentanyl overdoses all over Fresno County. It's not just relegated to a specific area. It could be as far north as the Friant area up by Millerton, and it could be, as far south down to Coalinga and places like that. So it is everywhere.
And it's certainly not relegated to just one law enforcement agency. So, Agent Ciapas, can you explain how Homeland Security is involved in this?
Oh, absolutely. So HSI is actually at the front lines of the fentanyl epidemic. We have agents all along the U.S. border, specifically in the southwest border. As far as Fresno is concerned, we have an office here locally in Fresno. As Under Sheriff Zanoni mentioned earlier about the FORT task force, we are leading the charge in that. We're moving forward with federal investigations, not only, like I said, on international border, but also here locally in Fresno that's prosecuting the cases federally with the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about that. You just alluded to that. So what happens when people are called? What is the accountability portion of this?
So we are actually at the front lines as far as responding out to when people do overdose from fentanyl. We're starting the investigation from there, and we are finding the people that are distributing it into the community and holding them accountable on federal charges. Okay,
so, but you're talking about all of these pills that oftentimes, well, how often do people know that they have fentanyl in it? They just think it's, like you had said, Under Sheriff, that maybe it was a Xanax that they, took from someone, or, I mean, how does anyone know that it's got fentanyl in it?
That's a very good point. That's part of the awareness campaign. We're trying to educate our youth on what's going on with fentanyl and what the dangers are, but it's all about the awareness right now, because we truly don't know. It's being laced in other substances, and people are thinking that it's something that it's not. So.
How powerful is fentanyl? How much does it take to overdose?
It doesn't take very much at all. It's a very, very small amount. It's like, just a little speck of it, depending on what it's in. And this is the issue with it, is it's not controlled. So we could have a bunch of fentanyl pills here, and 10 of them could be not very powerful, but it just takes that one. And that's what we're seeing with the youth is some kids are getting very sick and dying, and other kids, not a lot's happening. And then you have the addiction aspect as well. But it's very powerful, and you look at like what happened over at Ohio State University on May 5th, and they thought they were Adderall pills. And a bunch of kids took them and got sick, or college students, and one student actually died because there was a trace amount of fentanyl. And that's why, like the agent said, we're doing the awareness campaign. We have to educate the youth and other individuals in the community and let them know, like, hey, stay away from this stuff. It's deadly. It's poison.
Is this all being made in some rando house, or you said you had agents all along the southwest border? Is this being brought in?
Absolutely. We're actually seizing fentanyl almost daily at our U.S. borders. The agents are responding to the ports of entry with people attempting to bring it into this country.
All right. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your efforts in trying to keep our area safe. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
In all of the different ways that you are. Thank you. And for your time this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you.
If you or someone you know needs help, whether for mental health services or substance use disorder services, please call the number you see on your screen. It is 1-800-654-3937. And there are real live people who will pick up the phone and talk with you right now.